Hey there, Tim. How you doing? Cleve baseball fan 879. I just thought I'd pop on here and just I don't know, do a quick game, pick a couple teams and just play, just for fun, just for fun, just for fun. So hope you're doing well, bud. So we've been playing our Ned McGreevy All-Star team against a number of different teams. Played the 1929 Philadelphia A's, the 1970 Baltimore Orioles, the 1934 Cardinals, the 1986 Red Sox, and then on Steve Tate's 5-year file, the Texas Rangers from 2009 to 2013. Oh, you got a video premiering in about an hour. Cool. Well, then I'm going to get to this because I want to check that out. Definitely. So, Cleve baseball fan video premiering. Let me see. It's 11:51 here. So 12:51. So near 1 o'clock. Let's do this quickly then. And since Tim is here, I think we're going to have our Nuff Seds play a Cleveland team. So let's pick a Cleveland team to play. I don't do a lot. It'll be an Indians team as opposed to a Guardians team. Hopefully that's right with you, Tim. And I do like the Indians. The Indians are 85 miles an hour from the place I would call home here in America. So from Pittsburgh. All right, let's bring in a Cleveland team. And I think it's going to be 1995. Really an excellent Indians team. So the Dublin Nuffseds are 3-2, 3-2 in this sort of little just weird series of exhibitions. So lost to the Philadelphia A's in extra innings. Beat the Baltimore Orioles of 1970. Beat the St. Louis Cardinals. A very, very close game. It was a 1-0 game. Lost against Texas and beat Boston in the bottom of the ninth on a walk-off home run. So now we go to Cleveland. 100 wins, 44 losses in 1995, and was really, really rooting hard for Cleveland to beat one of the teams that I hate in the National League, but Cleveland coming up short, but still, what a great team. So let's get to it. All right, so the visitors. Let's have the Dubliners visit Cleveland. Hopefully the ballpark is set up for this properly. All right, computer will manage the Indians. And let's see, who are we going against? Charles Nagy, and we're not using a DH in these things. All right, I'm going to let a computer generate a lineup, and then I'm going to switch it around, and it keeps wanting to put Sherry McGee in at short, and I'm going to put Hannes Wagner in there. There we go. And I went Speaker, then Sisler, then Wagner, Delahanty. We'll leave McGuire in, Ewing, Demontreville at second. Sounds good. This is all just for fun. All right. Hey, there's Aaron Reed. All right, not going to be not going to be a ton of chat interaction here, as Tim has a game coming up in less than an hour. So try to power through this one. All right, in 1995, it was still Jacobs Field. So here we go. It's our Dublin Nuffseds versus the 1995 Cleveland Indians. If you missed last night's game against the Red Sox, a great win in the bottom of the ninth. Excellent, excellent. All right, let's look at the defense here for the 1995 Cleveland Indians, and you get to see their pictures a little bit. There's Albert Bell in left. Wayne Kirby in center, Manny Ramirez in right. From third to first, Jim Thome, Omar Vizquel, Carlos Baerga, Paul Sorrento, Tony Pena, former Bucco, and Charles Nagy. Leading off, the Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker. Tris Speaker played some years in Cleveland and played also in Boston, the team we played against last night. So a connection with these two teams. Game time temperature here in Cleveland is 60 degrees, so let's get underway here. Nagy has finished his warm-up pitches now, and fast forwarding a little into the game. Here's the 2-1 delivery to Speaker. Speaker swings, come back to the mound. Nagy up with it on to Paul Sorrento to retire to Speaker for out number 1. The great George Sisler now in there. 341, 2 home runs, 41 runs batted in. Nagy has the sign from Tony Pena, the wind, and the 3-1 to Sisler. Sisler skies this one to left. Camping under it is Albert Bell, and he'll make it for out number 2. Stepping in now, the Flying Dutchman, Hannes Wagner. 355, 7 homers, 100 runs batted in. Nagy with the 1-2 pitch. Wagner swings, routine fly ball. Kirby camps under it and makes the catch. So the Ned McGreevy Nuffseds go in order. And I forgot to change the starting pitcher. Walter Johnson keeps getting the start. Since these are exhibitions, I wanted to start Rube Waddell today, but that's fine. All right, Carlos Baerga will lead it off. 314 average, 15 home runs, 90 runs batted in 1995 for the American League champion Cleveland Indians. Johnson lets it go. The 1-0 delivered. Baerga swings, fly ball, center field. The Gray Eagle will bring it down into his talons. 1 up, 1 down. Omar Vizquel, a player that gets a lot of debate on whether he should be in the Hall of Fame or not. Vizquel hitting 266, 6 home runs, 56 runs batted in. Johnson brings it home, the 2-1 to Vizquel. Vizquel swings, base hit left field. Delahanty up with the ball. Vizquel makes the turn at first and will hold as the ball comes into Hannes Wagner. Vizquel with 29 steals in this baseball history collection. The human rain delay, Jim Thome now, hot corner man for these Cleveland Indians. 314, 25 round trippers, and 73 runs batted in. Johnson fires it in. Thome swings in the first pitch. There goes Vizquel. The throw down by Deacon McGuire. The tag, and Vizquel caught stealing. Quick tag by Wagner at short. Hey, there is Big Clue. So Thome back in the box, 2 down. The 0-1 delivery from Walter Johnson. And Thome. This one in there for a called strike 3. So the Indians get a hit and nothing else and a caught stealing. When we go to the top of the second, it's the Ned McGreevy Nuffseds and 1995 Cleveland Indians scoreless. Ed Delahanty, Deacon McGuire, and Buck Ewing will face Charles Nagy. 378 average for Delahanty, 10 home runs, 118 runs batted in. I hope to do a Negro League game tomorrow. Steve Tate giving me kind and encouraging permission to go ahead and use his Negro League files. So probably not going to be using the Dave Cook Negro League stuff too much with Steve giving his kind permission. So hopefully we'll get a Negro League game tomorrow. Delahanty waits for the Nagy delivery, the 0-2, and Delahanty fooled. This one pinning on the outside corner. 1 down for a catcher, Deacon McGuire. 309 for McGuire, 3 home runs, 54 runs batted in. Nagy works the 1-1 pitch, grounded to short. Vizquel up with it on to Paul Sorrento, and McGuire retired in plenty of time for the second out. Now that being said, I would say because Action PC is such a fine game, you know, it's if you got a few bucks lying around, pick up their all-time 20 Negro League teams. It's really, really good. Lots of duplication, but it would make for a great draft pool. It does come with an 84-game schedule if you want to play as a season, and maybe if you don't mind duplicate players, see how Satch Paige did on one team, and then maybe another a few years later. And I would suggest maybe doing a matchup, matchups between, say, the Homestead Grays and the Pittsburgh Crawfords, or all the usual suspects. I was surprised by the omission of some of the teams in there, but pretty good selection. Nagy delivers now to Ewing. Full count, and little chopper to third. Thome up with it, and plenty of time. It seems, well, maybe not. This is close. No. So that one, from our vantage point here, looked like it was going to be just a good old bang-bang play. But Buck Ewing is safe at first. So first base hit for the Ned McGreevy Nuffseds. 26 steals. So ignore the 31. That's coming over from the other league. 26 steals. Tony Pena, pretty good arm behind the dish as Gene de Montreville steps in the box. 296, 2 home runs, 76 runs batted in. Remind everybody in the chat, the Clee Baseball Fan 879 has a premiere coming up in a little under an hour, so I want to try to power through this. And Forever Remain 90, whom we haven't seen in a while, saying hi to me, to Big Clue, and everyone else. Cool. And actually, even if it comes to it, I can always exit out of that game. Really, really excited to catch Tim's premiere. Nagy delivers to de Montreville, the 1-2. Ewing was moving, so the hit and run play was on. Ramirez up with it. Manny will not throw to third. Throw comes into Carlos Baerga. Runners at the corners for the Nuffseds, and 2 down, de Montreville at first. Buck Ewing at third. And Old Hoss Radbourn getting the start again in right. So not paying attention much to the roster, but that's all right. Old Hoss did well last night. Nagy winds from the stretch, the 2-1. And Radbourn, chopper, comebacker to the mound. Nagy off to his left off the hill to retire Radbourn and the side. So the McGreevies, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. Go to the bottom of the second, and we are scoreless. Albert Bell steps in against the big train. Bell, 317, 50 home runs, 126 runs batted in. Power versus power here as Johnson deals the 1-1. Bell swings the long fly ball to left, but won't have the distance. Delahanty backpedals and brings it down 1 away for Manny Ramirez, wearing his Red Sox livery there. Ramirez hitting 308, 50 or 31 home runs, 107 runs batted in. Paul Sorrento waits on deck. Walter Johnson with that easy delivery, the 0-2, and Ramirez unable to catch up to that pitch. 2 down for first baseman Paul Sorrento, hitting just 235, 25 dingers though, and 79 ribbies. Johnson into the wind in the 1-2. Sorrento sends this one to center field. Tris Speaker will make the catch. Side retired. 2 in the books. We're scoreless here in Cleveland. And Walter Johnson will lead it off. Johnson with a home run in last night's game against the 1986 Boston Red Sox. Charles Nagy so far has struck out a batter and has surrendered a hit. And Johnson looks at a called third strike, 1 away, back at the top of the order, and the Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker, grounded back to Nagy in the first. Nagy lets it go. The 0-2 delivery to the Gray Eagle. Speaker, little grounder to short. Vizquel up with it quickly because Speaker is fast. And they do just get Tris Speaker by a half step. Pardon me, 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the third for George Sisler, who's 0 for 1. Nagy brings it. The 1-2. Grounded to second. Baerga to Sorrento. Side retired in order. We go to the bottom of the third. Still no score. Tony Pena will lead it off here. 262, 5 dingers, 28 home runs. Pena, one of the few highlights of the 1980s Pirates. And then that big trade that brought over Andy Van Slyke, Mike Dunn, and Michael Evaluer would give the Pirates that nice 3-year run, 1990, 91, and 92. Johnson deals to Pena the 1-0. Pena, hard ground ball to third. Ewing up with it, sets and throws across to George Sisler, and Tony Pena is out number 1. Wayne Kirby has 14 runs batted and a home run, and he's hitting 207. as Tim is saying hi to Forever Remain 90. Here's the delivery. Kirby swings, chopping ground ball to third. Buck Ewing has it and throws to Sisler. This will be close, and Kirby is out. So Wayne Kirby retired on a close play. 2 up, 2 down here for Cleveland in the bottom of the third. Charles Nagy now to face Johnson. Here's the wind in the 1-1 pitch. Nagy sends this one to third, and Buck Ewing busy this inning, and that's going to be a 5-3 putout to retire the side. Top of the fourth, no score. Hannes Wagner, Ed Delahanty, and Deacon McGuire due up. Wagner flied out back in the first. Nagy delivers to the Dutchman and lined right to Vizquel. So shortstop to shortstop. 1 up, 1 down for Ed Delahanty. Delahanty struck out in the second. Charles Nagy with 2 strikeouts. Here is the 0-2. Make that 3 strikeouts as Delahanty will grab some pine. Deacon McGuire now grounded to short. So the Nuffseds, we have double shutouts going on here. The Nuffseds managing just 2 hits off of Charles Nagy. Here's McGuire's swing on the 1-0, and this one Thome has it, and plenty of time. Could have thrown out Deacon McGuire's great grandma. Bottom of the fourth, scoreless here at Jacobs Field. Carlos Baerga, we're back at the top of the order for the Indians. He flied to right center. Johnson brings it home. Baerga pops this one on the infield. De Montreville at second, calling for it. And he will bring it down for out number 1. Ovar Vizquel has the lone Cleveland hit, and that was a single back in the first. The big train delivers. Vizquel, little chopper up the first base line. Sisler will have it. Underhanded toss to the big train, and Vizquel is out number 2. Pitcher's duel here as we enter the middle innings of this contest. Jim Thome struck out against Johnson. 1 of 2 strikeouts. The 0-2. Jim Thome goes down. Jim Thome swinging for downtown Cleveland there and comes up empty. I think he was going for the, what is that interstate that goes around, which is now Progressive Field. Can't remember it right now, but I used to go there going through Cleveland all the time. Going to a magic shop that was out near Painesville, Ohio, I believe. All right, so Buck Ewing has 1 of only 2 hits against Nagy. Infield single back in the second. Nagy delivers the 2-2. And that's strikeout number 4 by Charles Nagy. So Buck Ewing, go have a seat. I-90 it was. Thank you, Tim. I-90. Gene De Montreville has the other hit against Charles Nagy, and that was a single to right. Nagy delivers the 1-1. De Montreville swings. Fly ball right field. Manny Ramirez back on it and short of the track will make the catch. 2 up, 2 down. Old Hoss Radbourn now 0 for 1. The 1-2. Radbourn swings. Easy fly ball. Wayne Kirby coming in at center to make the catch. Side retired, bottom of the 5th. This is going to be a fast broadcast, guys, on purpose, so we can all go to Tim's house and catch his premiere. I'm assuming, is that 2007 Indians, Tim, or what are we going to see today? Albert Bell, last time, fly to deep left. Johnson brings it home, and this one is gone. Didn't even have time to get the call. A laser shot by Albert Bell off of Walter Johnson, 391 feet. And the 1995 Cleveland Indians take a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the 5th. Manny Ramirez, his last time out, struck out. Here's the pitch, the 0-2 from Johnson to Ramirez, and Ramirez, this one catches the inside part of the plate. Walter Johnson picking up strikeout number 4. 2007 Indians probably in 40 minutes. All right, excellent. We should be done with this before 40 minutes. Going quickly on purpose. Paul Sorrento, 0 for 1. Fly to deep right center back in the second. Yep, Aaron Reed, Albert Bell said bada bing, bada boom. Caught a couple games Aaron did last night, won an old-time baseball. one on Tony La Russa Baseball 93, the 1996 edition. So good stuff. So check out Aaron Reed's channel as he's posting a lot of baseball. Paul Sorrento now. Fly to deep right center. Johnson brings it home. Sorrento sends this one out to right field. Radbourn giving chase in the corner and will make the catch. 2 away and a run in for the Indians here in the 5th. Tony Pena is nothing for 1, grounded to third. Johnson's 1-0 pitch. Pena swings, base hit into right field. Radbourn up with the ball. Pena making the turn at first. The throw getting into Gene Montreville at second. Aaron Reed, sorry about Curt Gowdy's audio glitching out. I think because it was a save state. I would also suggest Mel Allen, as I think I said to you before, Aaron, as you have your girlfriend Greg helping you set up these games. Mel Allen really pronounces a lot more of the games. And let me know, as far as you said you're doing pretty well with navigation with this game, Action PC Baseball. So we will get together most likely tomorrow for a little bit to show you how to get around Action PC Baseball. All right, so Tony Pena on board, and here's the delivery to Wayne Kirby. Kirby swings, and this one just sent to center field. An easy play for Tris Speaker. Side retired, but 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. Albert Bell absolutely just tagged that ball. Top of the 6th, it's 1-0 Cleveland. Walter Johnson, Tris Speaker, and George Sisler due up. Yeah, Mel Allen pronounces more of the names, which for you, Aaron, is a good thing. And for some reason, it does seem that the I don't know, the Mel Allen voice is just not to take anything away from Curt Gowdy, but I think they did a better job with Mel Allen as far as contextualizing what's going on in the game. Base is empty for Johnson. Nagy with a 2-2, and Johnson goes down swinging. This one on the inside corner. Charles Nagy with 5 strikeouts against these Nuffsets. Tris Speaker has grounded out twice. He's a tough out, but Nagy able to get him twice, and this one base hit into right field. Manny Ramirez having to try to corral that ball. In the meantime, Speaker slides Vizquel's tag, and Speaker has himself a double, sliding in head first, but hooking around and touching the bag. So runner in scoring position, tying run for the Nuffseds, and George Sisler now. He is flied out and grounded to second. Nagy throws back. Sisler isn't buying it. Back to second with ease. Big Clue says, I was thinking about how modern 1990s later might play, even neutralized in a dead ball environment, and I have to wonder if everybody but the very best would turn into Rob Tier overnight. Conversely, how excellent would guys like Altuve or Joey Votto be in a pre-1920 run scoring environment? Both excellent questions. Yeah, Aaron, so that gives me pause. If you're having trouble with Action PC Baseball, especially with navigation, that's telling me that maybe the software that you're using, we need to find some stuff for, and I'm looking at some videos for you to be able to play Windows games, because this is such a fantastic game for you to play with. And then we already talked about being able to use the Microsoft Narrator for you for to call games, as it were. For those not aware, Aaron is sightless, but such an avid gamer and a brilliant student of the history of baseball, especially 1990s forward. So we'll work it out. Yeah, Tony Gwynn is one of those players who could have played in oh, you just don't know what does what. Oh, okay, well that's easy, but it's going to take some time. There's a lot to this game. I think that a lot of these older players would do well, and since Action PC and these types of things do normalize to an era, these Nuffseds are, again, we don't have a big enough control yet, but a control group. But so far, 3 wins, 2 losses, not bad. That being said, 2 of the teams, 1934 Cardinals, 1929 A's, but did well against the 1970 Baltimore Orioles and the 1986 Boston Red Sox. Not so well against the 5-year file, the Texas Rangers. But we'd have to run lots of, and again, trusting in Action PC Baseball's engine is the other. But I would have to give the nod to the early players being able to play in this modern era. Ty Cobb was a great hitter. Honus Wagner was a great hitter. George Sisler. You know, they had that talent. You know, now could they adjust to the higher velocities and things like that, and different tactics? I think is also a question that begs to be discussed, right? Sisler 0 for 2. Nagy delivers. Sisler sends this one down the right field line. Ramirez will track it down and make the catch. Speaker will get back to second. So rare that Speaker not trying to advance on that. So 2 out, and Honus Wagner nothing for 2. Nagy delivers the 2-1 pitch. Swung on. This curveball lofted to left. Albert Bell going back, and he will make the catch to retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 6th. It's still 1-0. A big clue is saying, listen to last night's game while he was working this morning. You made me laugh mentioning Rocket's pastry throw. I'd forgotten about that. Hey, there's Robbie Ortberg. No, he never did. He never outgrew that immaturity. Again, you know, I said it last night. I'll say it today in afternoon prime time. Clemens was a dick. All right, Nagy is 0 for 1, grounded to third. Robbie needs to behave himself for a couple more games, and he gets his wrench back. Robbie Wartburg. He was a bad dude last night. Charles Nagy grounds it to Wagner. Wagner to Sisler, and Nagy is out number 1, back at the top of the order. But we still love you, Robbie, and you will get your wrench back. You just got to remember who's managing a game next time, please. All right. Baerga nothing for 2. He is flied out and popped to second. Johnson with 4 strikeouts delivers to Baerga, and this one chopped up the middle to Montreville to Sisler for out number 2. 1-0 your score here in the top of the bottom of the 6th. I'm sorry. Omar Vizquel. Single and grounded out. 1 for 2 against the big train. The 1-0. Vizquel swings, and this one a clean base hit up the middle. Speaker up with it past a diving Jean de Montreville. And Vizquel aboard. Vizquel with 29 steals. And there's Jim Thome, nothing for 2. He has struck out twice against the big train. Throw over, Vizquel back ahead of Sisler's tag. Dave Little lurking. Well, won the game last night, the bottom of the 9th, big clue. And I managed the game, and Robbie told Ken it was nice managing. So that told me that Robbie was probably asleep at the wheel. So had to take his wrench for a little bit, but we love him, and he'll have it back by tonight, tomorrow, whatever. Just having a little bit of fun with Robbie. Hey, there we go. PQ River. Yeah, this one's going quickly, guys. So close to 1 o'clock. Clee Baseball Fan 879 doing a premiere on his channel. Cards of Dice 2007 Cleveland Indians. Good to see Dave Little stopping by. Yeah, he said it to Ken, and Ken wasn't managing, and Ken even said it was all Beatles. So there we go. Yeah, some of them are showing up for me now too, Robbie. I tried it this morning, and I wrote to Richard saying that it seems to be an intermittent issue that I can't reproduce, but I have noticed that the ball animation is really janky, really janky. So we'll see. I'm sure I'll get an answer back from Richard. He's very, very good on that. Vizquel, good lead at first. Johnson comes home with it. Count even to Thome, and Vizquel started to go. Oh, and the boos going up all over here in Cleveland. We go to the top of the 7th. Great game here. It's 1-0 right now. Charles Nagy working on a 3-hitter. Walter Johnson has given up 4 hits, but a home run to the bottom of the 5th by Albert Bell. That one got out of here so quickly, I literally couldn't even complete the call. So Ed Delahanty, 0-for-2, has struck out twice against Nagy, who has 5 strikeouts. The 1-1 pitch. Delahanty swings, routine fly ball, center field. Wayne Kirby going back a little bit, makes the catch, 1 down. Nagy pitching tough here. Again, I always loved these 1995 Indians, and wanted them to just beat Atlanta, and it just didn't happen. But that's all right. Nothing can't take anything away from them. The 1-2, and this one slapped to short, and Vizquel with a nice toss onto Sorrento to retire Egan McGuire, and out number 2. Buck Ewing 1-for-2. He singled in the infield and struck out. 2-2 pitch. Ewing swings. Fly ball to right. Ramirez back on it. This one has distance, and Ramirez gets it against the wall. Middle of the 7th, 1-0. Cleveland over the Nuffsets. The 1995 Indians, you're right, Dave Little, were they were an incredible team. Just a great, superb team. Such a shocker. They, So Robbie, all you have to do is just bring in ballpark files from, I do believe you have Action PC. I know you don't play it. Just bring in the images from Action PC Baseball. You can bring in any ballparks into Don Brock Baseball. Big Clue says, my brother sent me a thing the other day saying it's now been 10,000 days since the Reds last advanced in the playoffs. And I had to tell him 2 words, which is not bless you. Since I was there, last playoff game he's been to was back in 1995 versus so LA and Atlanta. Friggin' Braves! I rooted for those Indians in the World Series that year so hard. I said, Big Clue said, thanks for making me feel old, punk. Dave Little saying the Reds have a 9-game winning streak in the World Series. And PQ Ribber saying he's getting used to being old. There's nobody old in this channel. Well, maybe Clinton Parks, but no. Anyhow, he's the one that calls himself the channel curmudgeon. Albert Bell with a solo shot back in the 5th. That is the only scoring in this game. Walter Johnson with the 1-0 to Bell. Bell swings, and lazy fly ball to left. Delahanty comes in and makes the grab. 1 away for Manny Ramirez. Oh, yeah, well, I trying to figure out a really, really nice way to ask Richard if I could create a nice splash screen for him. That's ugly. It looks like somebody's bad acid trip. Not a lot you could do to change that, unfortunately. So I'm going to send Richard some examples of my art, and friends on Facebook have seen what I can do. Just give him some examples, maybe knock up a couple baseball-looking things and see if Richard would be amenable to a much prettier, I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but whoever designed that wasn't a graphic artist. I am. So we'll see. Ramirez 0-for-2, 1 down. We got to speed this back up again. Strikeout number 6, Ramirez. Chasing that possibly out of the strike zone, 2 away. The crowd disagreeing with the call, but Ramirez clearly swinging. Sorrento is flat out twice. Johnson with the 0-1. Sorrento swings. Hard chopper to short, or to first, and Sisler will take it to the bag himself. Side retired. We go to the 8th. Still 1-0. We might have to start looking at our bench here for pinch hitters. But Demontreville got a hit, so he gets to stay in. Nagy has struck out 5, hasn't walked a batter. Base hit for Demontreville. Ramirez up with it, gets it back into Carlos Baerga. Allow Eric to plunk to pitch? Absolutely. I'm not managing the Indians. So the line on Eric Plunk in 1995, a 2.67 under on average, 6 wins, 2 losses, 2 saves, 64 innings pitched, and he walked 27 and struck out 71. So Dumontreville at first with 34 steals. We're going to go for a steal here. Radbourn in the box, nothing for 2. And here's Plunk. Let the jokes begin. There goes Dumontreville, the throw down, and Dumontreville picks up a steal. So Dumontreville is the tying run and scoring position for the Nuff Seds. Radbourn back in there in the 0-2 delivery from Eric Plunk. Radbourn swings, fly ball to right, back on it as Manny Ramirez, and makes the catch short of the track. Dumontreville will tag and advance to third on the play. Here's the throw from Ramirez. It's going to be close. Tomey's tag, and Dumontreville is safe. So, yes, Robbie, I'm managing this. PQ Ribber, assuming... I do a lot of music, PQ Ribber. So at various times in my life, I've been a professional musician and a professional sleight of hand magician. So yes, I actually do a lot of music. And looking to get back into it. There's a band looking for a keyboard player, singer. So seeing how that's going to go with my crazy work schedule. Infield in, and we're going to pinch hit for Walter Johnson. Good hitting pitcher though he is. And let's bring in, who do we want to bring in? Who do we want to bring in? Ty Cobb. So we're going to bring Ty Cobb in to pinch hit. 1 down. I'm almost tempted to try a suicide squeeze, but Dumontreville, not quite the wheels I want for that. But it's 1 out. Cobb not... We're going to have to hit away. Plunk from the stretch to Cobb, the 2-0 delivery. Cobb swings, chopper to short. Vizquel will go. Vizquel with the error. So E6. Ty Cobb scores, and we are tied here in the top of the 8th. Ken Castro here in the chat. Back at the top of the order now, and Tris Speaker. Speaker has grounded out twice, and then a double in the 6th. Plunk delivers. Cobb remaining. There goes Cobb, the throw down by Pena, and they catch Cobb stealing, so 2 outs. Speaker batting with the bases empty here in the 8th. 2 away, Plunk's delivery to Speaker. And this one should be a routine fly ball for Wayne Kirby. Side retired. And the McGreevy's tie it up here in the top of the 8th. It's 1-1, and we need a new pitcher. And we're going to bring in Rube Waddell. I don't give a damn about platooning. There we go. Ty Cobb will take a seat. Waddell, the baseball history collection of 1.94, earned on average, 19 wins, 12 losses, 273 1/3 innings pitched, 80 walks, 229 strikeouts. Pena 1 for 2 in the contest, singled back in the 5th. Getting close to time for Tim's premiere. Waddell with the 2-2 delivery to Tony Pena. Pena swings, and this one up the middle. Dumontreville ranging to his right on to George Sissel to retire Pena. Out number 1. Wayne Kirby, nothing for 2. Grounded out, flied out. 2-2, Kirby cuts on this fastball. Wagner ranging to his left for the 6-3 put out of Kirby. 2 up, 2 down. Eric Plunk, we'll see if we're going to have a pinch hitter for him for the Indians. And we will. Eddie Murray. And Eddie Murray comes in. Clean base hit to left. Delahanty up with it. Eddie Murray wearing that Orioles livery. So Eddie aboard, and that brings up Carlos Baerga. We're back at the top of the Cleveland order. Go ahead run aboard for Cleveland here in the 9th. And if this happens to go to extras, we'll suspend. We will suspend this as we get closer to Tim's premiere, so that you guys can go over and hang out with that. The 1-1. And Baerga, a little grounder up the first base line. Sisler has no play, so E3 and 2 aboard, 2 down. So Sisler having trouble handling that ball and racing Baerga down the first base line. Omar Vizquel having a good day. He is 2 for 3 at the dish. Singled last time up. Rubaudel with the 1-0 to Vizquel. I'm sorry. Fastball cut on. This one is a deep one to left field, and you can kiss it goodbye. Omar Vizquel with a 3-run homer, and the Nuffseds look like, unless they can pull off a miracle, in the 9th will go to 3-3 in this series of sort of exhibition games against random teams and whatever throughout baseball history. The next time the Ned McGreevy Nuffseds will play, it will be a team from the 1940s, since 1940s baseball doesn't get love really at all among any of the content creators, myself included. So thinking about possibly the 1949 Dodgers or maybe the 1946 Cardinals. Or the 1941 Yanks, who knows? It's going to be something from the 1940s, though, so we haven't touched that era yet, or that decade. Tomey nothing for 3, 2 down. Waddell delivers. Payoff pitch to Tomey. Tomey walks. And we've seen enough of Rube, unfortunately. So we're going to try to bring in Christy Mathewson. Mathewson not having the best luck in these little all-star exhibitions. So Maddie comes in with 2 down. Here's a delivery to Albert Bell. Bell swings, sends this one to center field. Speaker back on it at the track. This one off the wall. So Bell will get the RBI double. Jim Tomey scores, and it's 5-1. We're going to leave Matthews in there just to try to get this 3rd out. And then we'll see George Sisler, Hannes Wagner, and Ed Delahanty. But hate to say it, but I think this one's all over but the crying. Manny Ramirez has struck out 3 times today. Matty deals, and Ramirez swinging on the first pitch. Fly ball to left. Delahanty had him played perfectly. And that's it. But 4 runs, 3 hits, 1 error. We played 8. Cleveland 5, Dublin 1. And Alan Embry will come on now. Embry, a 5.11 earned run average. He was 3-2 in 1995 with 1 save. 24 2/3 innings pitched. 16 walks, 23 home runs. We're almost done here. Vizquel is laughing at Bell, says Dave Little. Yup. Yeah, that is a shock for Vizquel, huh? All right, so we have the 2007 Indians in Stratomatic Baseball Game 89, and that's coming up soon after this one. So that's why I'm really hurrying, guys. Sisler nothing for 3. Alan Embry with a 2-1 to Sisler. And this one air mailed to Wayne Kirby. 1 down. Hannes Wagner, a disappointing 0 for 3 in today's contest. Might be back later this afternoon for just another quick game. We shall see. Embry deals the 0-2. Wagner sends this one to left field. Albert Bell in the corner makes the catch. Can Delahanty start a 4-run fight back rally? I don't think. 2 strikeouts and fly to right center. So just for giggles, let's bring in somebody we haven't seen yet, King Kelly. So we're going to bring in King Kelly here in the top of the 9th with 2 down, just to see my favorite 19th century player. Embry delivers the 2-2. And Mike Kelly, extra bases, perhaps? Nope. Ramirez able to get to it. There goes Kelly. He is going for 2. And Vizquel's tag, not in time. So, last night is going to go with Kelly. Didn't. Home run Baker hit a walk-off homer. I believe it was a 3-run shot. All right, so the McGreevy's at least with a chance to get a crooked number here in the 9th. And we're going to pull Deacon McGuire as well. And let's bring in last night's hero, home run Baker. Let's see what happens. Embry delivers to Baker. Baker swings, base hit to right. This one, Ramirez up with it. Kelly's gonna score, and home run Baker in scoring position at second. Here come the Nuff Seds trying to mount a rally. Buck Ewing out of there. We're bringing in Nap Lajoie. Why not? He spent a lot of time in Cleveland. So beloved, the Indians were named the Naps when he played there. So let's see what happens. Just having fun with it now. Baker, good lead at second. And Pena out to talk to Alan Embry, back behind the dish. Embry with the 2-0 delivery to Napoleon Lajoie. Lajoie swings. This should end the game. Lofted to left. Albert Bell has a beat on it. And that's your game. The 1995 Cleveland Indians over the Ned McGreevy Nuff Seds, 5-2. So that's it. That is it. That is it. That is it. Albert Bell, 2 for 4 with two home runs, or 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 runs batted in. And Omar Vizquel, 3 for 4 with a home run and 3 runs batted in. So out hit the very, very dangerous Albert Bell. So that's it. Waddell gets the loss, and Eric Plunk gets the win. So Tim, are you ready? Do we have a few minutes or what? Because I don't want to. I know it's a premiere. I don't know if you have it scheduled or what. We can hang for a few minutes, and everybody, hopefully, you'll go over and catch some more daytime baseball. Clee Baseball Fan 879. Hey, you're welcome, Dave. Thanks for coming in. It's so rare I get to see you. Dave also says, wow, of all the Indians' power hitters, is Vizquel going deep. It's the lovely thing about baseball. Work needs PQ River. Too bad, man. Well, thanks for coming in. And we're building an interesting little league on this other side that the Nuff Seds have played against. This could turn into something else just fun on its own. Anyhow, thank you, Robbie. Appreciate it. Waiting to see what when Tim is ready for that premiere. We have a few minutes. Just give me a little bit of warning here, Tim, and we'll wrap it up real quick. Want to hang out, watch some 2007 Cleveland Indians baseball. Always good. But yeah, this mix of teams is kind of fun. I might do something with this. I don't know yet. We'll let the McGreevies keep playing different teams. So again, it'll be a team from the 1940s next time. That is, if I remembered in my Addlepate. That Boston game was fun last night. So Tim, you said you have a Pirates. Oh, was it 1972? That's going to be after your 2007 Indians, and that's Clemente's quest for hit 3,000, which he did get in 1972. So, as a Bucco fan, I give a doff of the cap to my colleague there in Cleveland. Cities 85 miles apart. And with Big Clue's idea of geographic realignment, it would be really nice to start to see an Indians-Pirates rivalry in baseball. Just makes sense. Just makes sense. But so glad to see so many fans of these 1995 Indians. I don't remember rooting for a team harder, outside a Pirates team, obviously, as those 1995 Indians. And wow. And just because coupled with my deep, deep loathing of the Braves when Skip Carey would have the temerity to call the Atlanta Braves America's team when baseball's the national pastime. So I think that was kind of a little bit much there, Skip. Never liked his voice either. Didn't like David Justice. Don't like Francisco Cabrera. I don't like the Braves. Great franchise, but I don't like them. All right. I don't know what else to talk about here. I'm just kind of hanging out and waiting so we can go to Clee Baseball Fan 879. Do some 2007 Indians premiere. um, using Stratomatic. Maybe his goal, Cleveland, or Tim says, maybe my goal will be to start the Clemente quest on New Year's Eve. Oh, wow. Kind of a nice, really nice memorial to Clemente. He was killed December 31st, 1972, while on board a plane taking supplies to disaster victims in Nicaragua. Dave Little. Thing he hated most about the Braves were the Maddox, Glavine, Smoltz strike zone. Yeah, exactly. So we got about 10 minutes to chinwag a little bit of baseball. So two Reds fans in here, Dave Little and Big Clue. Um, will Reds fans and Pirates fans be commiserating once again this year? I think we will be. We're not looking good. We're not looking good. So, but that's okay. We can together. We can hate Milwaukee together. We can hate Milwaukee. All right. Loathing, loathing, loathing. It's hard for me. I can't hate the Cardinals. They're like I can't hate them, and I can't hate the Cubs. But I can definitely not like Milwaukee. Trash talking wankers that they are. So. Again, hopefully a Negro League baseball game tomorrow. We use Steve Tate's players as opposed to the Dave Cook files. Even though I suggest you get the Dave Cook files, I think they're really good. And we are 3 games to go in the Ned McGreevy League, and the games coming up are crazy. Former Pirate Neil Walker's dad should have been on the Clemente plane, says Tim. Yep, yep, I saw that, Robbie. You can't do as many, but yeah, it's pretty good. You can't, I mean, but as far as tournaments go, um, God, out of the park baseball is king in that. And we're coming up on the release of that 20 days from worldwide release. Dave Little hates the Cardinals. He says he hates them less since Princess Yachty Molina retired, but he still hates them. Yeah, I think the Cardinals are an amazing franchise. Really hard for me. I can see how, Cincinnati Reds fans would maybe hate them a little bit more than Pirates fans. Yes, Bullet Joe Rogan will definitely be on one of these Negro League squads. I'm gonna create an all-star team, 25-man rosters, and we'll have a go at it. So yeah, the usual suspects: Josh Gibson, Turkey Stearns, Buck Leonard, uh, Satch, Oscar Charleston, Cool Papa Bell, Judy Johnson, Pop Lloyd. It'll be all the usual suspects. So players you guys are gonna know. So yeah, I mean, there's good stuff. Robbie continuing to talk about Dombrov, saying the only thing he wishes, and he's not sure totally if you can do with Dombrov is mixed team. Yes, you can. It's super super easy, Robbie. And in fact, if you bring, you'll see that Dave already has, or Richard. I always keep calling him Dave. Richard's done quite a few of those. It's super easy, super super easy to do. Yep, you can do it. It's a big old baseball playground. You can see that. So Richard Dombrov, this is actually a kind of not a straight up, but it is a conversion of the Sports Illustrated baseball dice game into a digital format with some more touches of his own. But you can see the heavy influence with Dombrov baseball. It's eminently flexible, probably as flexible as Action PC. So yeah, you can easily do it. Creating those leagues is a breeze, Robbie. So Robbie, you're going to get the last word here as we're closing in on game time on Tim's channel. What are your Rangers prospects for this year? How do you think you guys are going to do? Be honest now, because I know you work for them, but be honest. How are you guys going to do this year? And then, depending upon your answer, that will determine whether you get your wrench back. We're waiting, waiting, waiting. So, Tim said he only heard about Rogan through Joe Posnanski's book called The Baseball 100, came out in 2021. Rogan was a great player, and yeah, he's definitely going to be on these squads. The trick is going to be trying to put together 50 Titans like this, creating two great all-time teams. So, yeah, Robbie works for him. He says, honestly, I think we look better, but I would not say we're going to go to the World Series yet. All right, Robbie Wartburg gets his wrench back. Um, there you go, Robbie. You're a moderator again. All right. Well, I'll take this last couple minutes and give my thank yous to Robbie Wartburg, Dave Little, Cleve Baseball Fan 879, who has a premiere coming up, 2007 Cleveland Indians game 89. Cousin Ken Castro. And PQ Ribber was hanging out for a bit, Big Clue as well. So fun stuff. Nice little active chat. Of course, the redoubtable Aaron Reed and the mystical, magical Forever Remain 90 hanging out. So that's all. Not sure if I'm coming back with a baseball game today. I may just hang out, listen to Tim for a while, and then crash. Last night was a crazy night out in the cold wind and rain, unloading a truck for 7.5 hours. So I'm still knackered. Tim asking Robbie, hoping for at least 80 wins for the Rangers. That's a good one. If the Pirates would get 80 wins, it would be a miracle. But the Rangers, what do you think, Robbie? You got 80 wins? You think 80 this year? Remember, you're going to lose a third, win a third is what you do with the other third that counts. Waiting for Robbie here, texting furiously on the phone, and then we're going to go to Tim's house because he has cookies. Right, Tim? Tim has cookies. I've heard wonderful comestibles by the redoubtable. The erstwhile, actually, the erstwhile Clee Baseball Fan 879. Also, I usually don't talk about channels that don't sort of cross-pollinate back, but caught Tim the other night on Rob exclamation point, just listening in on there, and Tim always brings great things to the conversation. And I stayed around for a little bit. They were talking baseball, and then it switched to F-ball, and I had to leave. So, it is Clee Baseball Fan 879 is the channel for Remain. If you just hover over his name, you see the three dots. Go to channel. You'll be able to subscribe right there. 70-mile-per-hour winds last night for parts of PA. Yep, I was out in it, dude, and it hurt. What kind of cookies? He asks. Yeah, so he's the one with the 2007 Indians premiere coming up. So let's go on over to Clee Baseball Fan 879's channel. As soon as he's ready, that way we're sort of hanging out. Tim is a Renaissance man. Yep. Fount of wrestling information. Well, he's a smart. Tim is just one of the most intelligent people in this community. Full stop. Really is. Good guy. We got all kinds of smart people here, though. We do. And we have Cousin Ken Castro. And you can't beat that. I mean, you got Cousin Ken Castro in the mix. Forget it. Forget about it. Cousin Ken doing some brilliant managing. But Providence having to face first place Manchester in the final 3 games of the season, and Cleveland and Philadelphia clashing for that second place spot. Couldn't have scripted it better to play out the final 3 games of this project. And I thank the community. Ken and I were really thinking that it would just be like it would be like a lead balloon as opposed to a Led Zeppelin. And instead, a good number of the community have embraced what we did with the Ned McGreevy League. And again, on behalf of Ken Castro, thank you. Awesome. And we're just waiting. There's World's Worst Gamer. Just waiting on the word from Tim so I can shut this down quickly and we can get over there. Tough task ahead. Indeed, MV has graciously allowed Ken to, even though he's the visiting manager, to manage his team. Haven't heard anything from Midlife Crisis, so depends on who gets in there first. So the Cleveland-Philadelphia thing is going to be a toss-up. Digital cookies and pastries. Yeah, Robbie, there's nothing like a good snack of zeros and ones. I like me some chocolate-covered binary. Nah, I get what you're saying, buddy. Tim, we wait in breathless anticipation. As Ernie Harwell would say, this crowd just inched forward in its seats. Robbie Wartburg doing 1920 on his channel on Baseball for Windows. Almost done processing. Okay, about another minute or two. I think he said last night he's going to put the Federal League on hold. Ken Castro wisely advised him to, as we all have, dig into SABR. And if he restarts his 1908 replay, to read the book Crazy '08. Love it, love it, love it. But, so Robbie doing the 1920, as replay of the 1920 season, focusing on the White Sox for obvious reasons to students of the game to know why. So please do support Robbie as he continues his foray into baseball, earlier baseball, as Ken and I might argue, proper baseball, or at least the smell. Cousin, if they brought out smells on YouTube, that's going to open up a whole world of possibilities there, isn't it? Countdown screen is up. Guys, let's go over to Clee Baseball Fan 879. Countdown timer is on for Cleveland Indians 2007 baseball game 89. So until we meet again, everybody take care and see you around the batting cage. Starting in a minute, says Tim. So see you guys over there.